Today we're going to learn about the volume of rectangular prisms. Learning target. I can find the volume of a rectangular prism with fractional edge length. What is volume? The amount of space that a three-dimensional object occupies, or equal to the number of unit cubes that can fit inside it. Okay, I want you to think of a Rubik's Cube. You can multiply each of the length times the width times the height, and that will give you the volume, okay? And that unit of measure would be cubes. So here we go. You can see the height, the length, and the width. Volume equals length times width times height, and I like to say volume equals Larry went hiking, so I don't forget it. But what I noticed when I was working these problems, if you have a box of macaroni and cheese and you turn it around and move it, it kind of changed the perspective of which side is the length and which side is the height and which side is the width. So really, you just multiply these three figures in any order and you will get the volume, okay? What you want to remember is that you want to always include the unit of measure. And now at the end of the unit of measure, we're going to put cubed because we're multiplying three sides together. So in our two-dimensional, we just put squared, but now in our three-dimensional, we put cubed at the end. So that's very important. Your answer will be wrong if you don't include the unit of measure and the cubed, okay? And if it doesn't have a unit of measure, you just use the word units. All right, I'd like you to do this one on your own. So please multiply all three sides. Don't forget your centimeters and your cubed. Pause the video when you have your answer and then click back on to see if you have it correct. Ready, begin. Okay, come back on. You should have gotten 500 centimeters cubed. So that is the correct answer. On this one, you're going to decide which prism holds more. Okay, so in which prism is the volume going to be more? So multiply all three sides on each prism and see what you get. Okay, so I like to do 6 times 4 is 24 times 10 would be 240 inches cubed. And 8 times 5 is 40, and 40 times 12 is 480 inches cubed. Which one holds more? Yeah, this one. 480 inches cubed is more than 240 inches cubed. Okay. All right, I'm going to have you do this one on your own. If you're using a calculator, that's fine. Just plug in the numbers. If you're doing it by hand, you remember how to multiply the decimals. Multiply two numbers at one time and then the next number after that one by the answer that you get. And don't forget how to count the spaces for the decimals. So in these two, if you multiply these two together first, you would count 1, 2, and move the decimal from the right to the left 2 spots. Then that answer would be multiplied by the 22. Okay, let's see what you get. Pause the video and let's see if our answers match. So if you got 907.5 centimeters cubed, you got the correct answer. All right, this one is simple as well. Remember, you can change the fractions into decimals. And so we know that 3/4 is 75, right? That's like 3/4. and 1/2 is 1.5. Okay, so that's how you do that. Multiply those together, pause the video, and see what the answer that you get. Okay, if you got 5.625 inches cubed, you got the correct answer. All right, on this one, the answer is going to be in a fractional form. You can make them into the decimals, but here we're going to try to keep it in the fractional form. So all you have to do is make these mixed numbers into an improper fraction. And we know how to do that, right? We multiply the whole number by the denominator, and that gives us 15. And then we add our numerator to the 15. So 15 plus 1 is 16, and that's over 3. Okay? Now this number, 2/3, is right here. We just leave that the way it is because it's not a mixed fraction, or an improper fraction, or a mixed fraction. This one is an improper fraction, so we're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator, which is 3, and then add the denominator to the numerator, which is 4. So that would be 4/3. Okay, and when we multiply that out, 16 times 2 is 32, and 32 times 4 is 128 over 27. And when you divide that, you take 128, and this is how I'm going to divide it. And I think that's going to go in about 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8, plus our remainder 2 is 10. And when we subtract these out, we have 20 left over. So that 20 just goes right over our denominator. So that is the answer. Now guess what I forgot, folks? I forgot centimeters cubed. So let's see if our answer matches. Oh, it matches. And we have the correct answer. So just a little review on fractions. All right, so this is find the missing side if the area is 480 centimeters cubed, okay? So what we're going to do first, we have the total amount here, okay? So that's our total amount, but we don't have this amount. So what you're going to do, this is simple, is you're just going to multiply the two sides that you have. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 5, and that equals 60, right? That equals 60. And then I'm going to take 480, and I'm going to divide it, okay? And 6 goes into 48 8 times, so 60 goes in 8 times. Okay, so this is our missing side. And if I wanted to check it, I would just multiply 5 times 12 times 8, and that would equal your total amount. All right? Okay, make sure you remember how to do that. That is a problem that's on the exit ticket. All right, the next one is a word problem, which is simple. We're going to take our clues that we have. He's pouring liquid into a container that's 4.5, but I'm going to make that into 4.5. And then 3.5, which I'll make that into 3.5. And then, oops, okay. And then we're going to multiply that by 2. And our unit of measure is inches. So our answer would be in inches cubed. And if you came up with 31.5 inches cubed, you have the correct answer. Okay, let's see if you can do the next one. Okay, what is the volume of the storage space of the truck to the left? So simple. You are going to multiply all 3 sides and come up with the answer. Pause the video and see if we come up with the right answer. All right, if you got 5,400 feet cubed, you got the correct answer of the volume of the truck. Now listen, then it says the truck is going to be packed with washing machines. these measure 5 feet by 5 feet by 6 feet, okay? So you want to multiply both of these, all three of these here to find out the volume of the washing machines. So if you multiplied those together, you would get 150 feet cubed. And then I'm just going to divide it. Okay, when I divide that out, I get 36 washing machines. Okay, and that is the answer. That's a two-step problem, so don't forget to do all of the steps. Okay? All right. On this one, you're going to multiply these three to figure out tank 1 and these three to figure out tank 2. And we want to have the largest fish tank. Okay? So pause the video and multiply those out and see what you come up with. Okay, if you came up with these answers, you came up with the correct ones. Our largest tank is 9,000 centimeters cubed. So that's the one that we want to pick. Now guess what? We want to fill it with our goldfish, but each goldfish needs 2,000 milliliters of water. How many goldfish can you fit in the tank? Well, that's simple. Let's find out how many goldfish we can fit in our tank. So if we divide it, and we know that we can get at least 4 goldfish, and it will have 1,000 milliliters left over of water, so they'll have a little more, okay? So that's how you figure out these problems. And we'll have 4 goldfish. Okay, let's have you look at this one for a minute. Jeffrey wants to grow some tomatoes in 4 large planters. He wants each planter to have a volume of 320 cubic feet, but he wants them all to be different. Show 4 different ways Jeffrey can make these planters and draw diagrams with the planters' measurements on them. So we have this number, we have the total amount, and that is 320 cubic feet. So what 3 numbers can make 320 feet? Well, it's pretty easy, right? We know that 8 times 4 equals 32. And then if we times that by 10, that would be 320. Okay? So our first one would be 8 times 4 times 10. And it says to draw the diagrams. Okay, so I'm going to draw me a 3-dimensional shape. And it's actually pretty simple. And I would say this would be 10, and this would be 8, and this would be 4. Okay? And so you're going to do that 3 more different times with different numbers. So pause the video and see what you come up with. Okay, here are some examples of different ways to come up with 320. There's also more numbers. So if you have different numbers and the answer is 320, then you were correct. So good job today. Hopefully you understand the volume of rectangular prisms. I hope you have a wonderful day.